Sometimes in life, the path you need to take will not have a crowd cheering you on. It won't have applause. It won't even have people walking beside you. And that's where most people quit. Because silence feels lonely. Because isolation feels like rejection. But here's the truth. Walking alone doesn't mean you're lost. It means you've chosen a direction. It means you're willing to keep moving even without validation. Walking alone forces you to rely on your own strength, teaching you resilience and self-trust that no crowd can give you. Most people spend their lives surrounded by noise, validation, and company, and they assume that their worth and direction depend on how many people are clapping for them or how many friends they have beside them. But when the crowd disappears, when the applause fades, and when support is nowhere to be found, that's when the truth about who you are begins to surface. Walking alone strips away the distractions, it strips away the comfortable layers, and it leaves you face to face with yourself. That moment may feel like loneliness, but in reality, it's training. It's the place where resilience is born. Because now the only person you can lean on is you. When you walk alone, you learn to keep moving without someone else's encouragement. You learn to wake up even when no one is reminding you, to push forward even when no one is watching, to stay committed even when no one is clapping. And that kind of discipline builds a foundation inside of you that is unshakable. People who are always surrounded by others often confuse borrowed strength for their own strength. They think they are strong because they have people lifting them, but take away those people and suddenly they collapse. But when you build strength while walking alone, it belongs entirely to you. No one can take it away because you earned it in solitude. Resilience is not something you learn in a crowd. It's not developed when life is easy or when everything feels supportive. Resilience is built when things get hard and you still choose to keep going. It's built in the quiet moments when you have to make decisions without anyone telling you what to do. It's built when you face fear head on and push through it by yourself. The first steps of walking alone will feel heavy because you're used to leaning on someone else, you're used to hearing agreement and encouragement. But the longer you walk, the more you realize that your legs can hold you, your mind can guide you, and your spirit can fuel you. And the strength that grows out of that realization cannot be matched by anything external. Walking alone is not about isolation for the sake of being alone. It's about growth. It's about stepping into a version of yourself that doesn't need to depend on constant reassurance. It's about proving to yourself that you can stand even when everyone else has walked away. Think about the strongest people in history, the leaders, the visionaries, the ones who created change. None of them were surrounded by constant support at the beginning. They walked roads no one else was willing to walk. They carried burdens no one else wanted to touch. And in that loneliness, they discovered resilience that made them unbreakable. Walking alone taught them clarity. It taught them patience. It taught them the art of enduring storms without collapsing. When you walk alone, self-trust begins to form. At first, it's shaky. You doubt yourself. You wonder if you're making the right decision. You question whether you're strong enough. But with every step you take, you build evidence. You prove to yourself that you can survive discomfort, that you can handle setbacks, that you can keep walking even when the road is silent. And the more evidence you gather, the more self-trust you create. Eventually, that self-trust turns into confidence. Not the loud, arrogant kind of confidence that needs to be seen, but the quiet, steady kind of confidence that carries you forward no matter what. There's a difference between being lonely and being strong in solitude. Loneliness makes you wish for someone else's presence, but strength in solitude makes you realize you are enough. That doesn't mean you never want people around. It means your worth and your direction don't depend on them. It means you can walk with people when they are there, but you won't stop when they're not. That is the gift of walking alone. It makes you unshakable, it makes you consistent, and it makes you strong in ways that comfort never could. Most people avoid this path. They crave companionship, they crave approval, they crave comfort. But comfort never built warriors. Comfort never built resilience. Walking alone is like carrying weights, heavy at first, but over time it strengthens every part of you. Your mind becomes sharper, your emotions become steadier, and your decisions become clearer. You stop looking for shortcuts because you've learned that the long, lonely road is what gives you depth. You stop fearing failure because you've already faced the worst, silence, solitude, and self-doubt. and you've proven that you can survive it. There will be moments when walking alone feels unfair. You'll see others surrounded by people, supported by teams, celebrated by crowds, and you'll wonder why your path looks so different. But that difference is not a punishment. It's a preparation. The person who learns to walk alone develops a foundation that cannot be shaken when life gets harder. Because life will test you. People will leave, plans will fail, and support will fade. If your strength depends only on who is walking beside you, you will crumble. But if you've built your strength walking alone, you will rise. You will adapt. You will endure. Resilience and self-trust cannot be given. They must be earned. They must be forged in the quiet places, in the lonely steps, in the moments when no one is watching. Walking alone is not a weakness. It is the greatest form of training life could ever give you. Because once you've proven to yourself that you can carry your own weight, there's nothing left that can break you. Solitude builds inner confidence because the path you walk without support is the one that truly proves your power. Most people think confidence comes from what others say about them, how many likes they get, or how many friends they have standing beside them. But the truth is, confidence built on validation is fragile. It disappears the moment people stop clapping. Real confidence is something deeper. It's something that grows in silence, in the moments when you keep moving forward with no one else around. That kind of confidence cannot be shaken because it is not borrowed, it is owned. When you walk a path without support, you are forced to listen to yourself. You are forced to hear your own doubts, your own fears, your own insecurities. At first, that voice can feel overwhelming. It will tell you to quit. It will tell you that you're not enough. It will remind you that nobody believes in you. But if you keep walking, if you keep showing up step after step, something begins to shift. That inner voice that used to criticize you begins to respect you. It begins to recognize your resilience. It begins to acknowledge your persistence. It begins to see that you are not someone who gives up easily. And slowly, that self-respect turns into self-trust. Self-trust is the foundation of inner confidence. When you trust yourself, you stop needing the constant reassurance of others. You stop asking for permission to chase your goals. You stop waiting for someone else to tell you that you're capable. Because deep down, you already know it. You've proven it to yourself through every step you've taken alone. That proof becomes the anchor of your confidence. No matter what people say or don't say, you know who you are and you know what you're capable of enduring. Walking without support also teaches you to rely on your own judgment. In a crowd, it's easy to follow what everyone else is doing. It's easy to let the noise of others guide your decisions. But when you're alone, you don't have that luxury. You have to decide for yourself. You have to trust your own instincts, and you have to live with the consequences of your choices. That responsibility is heavy, but it's also powerful, because with every decision you make on your own, your ability to lead yourself grows stronger. And leadership of self is what eventually allows you to lead others. Confidence built in solitude is not loud. It's not about showing off or proving something. It's quiet, steady, and unshakable. It doesn't need to announce itself because it shows in the way you carry yourself, in the way you face challenges, in the way you don't fall apart when life gets hard. This kind of confidence intimidates people, not because it's arrogant, but because it cannot be controlled. It doesn't rise and fall based on opinions. It doesn't bend to the pressure of fitting in. It doesn't disappear when the crowd walks away. It's rooted in something far deeper. Your own journey, your own resilience, your own solitude. Think about the times you've had to walk alone. Maybe it was choosing a path no one else believed in. Maybe it was staying disciplined when others quit. Maybe it was facing pain and failure without anyone to lean on. Those are the moments that shape you. They may feel like suffering while you're in them, but later you realize they were building something inside of you that could not have been built any other way. Every lonely step was carving out a layer of strength. Every moment without support was reinforcing your ability to stand tall on your own. And every victory that came after walking alone became 10 times more meaningful because you know you earned it without being carried. Solitude also teaches patience. When no one is rushing you, when no one is distracting you, you begin to understand the value of slow, steady progress. You learn that greatness doesn't always come with speed or applause. It comes with endurance. And that endurance becomes a part of your confidence. You no longer feel the need to compete with everyone else's timeline because you trust your own. You're not rushing to prove anything because you've already proven to yourself that you can stay the course even when it's quiet. The path walked alone is also where clarity is found. In the silence, you start to hear your real desires. You realize what matters to you, not what society tells you should matter. You discover your own values, your own priorities, your own vision for the future. That clarity becomes another layer of your inner confidence because now you're not just moving aimlessly, you're walking with purpose. And when a person walks with purpose, their confidence radiates naturally without having to be forced. Many people avoid solitude because it feels uncomfortable. They think being alone means being weak or unwanted. But the truth is, solitude is a test. It separates those who can stand on their own from those who can't. It strips away the noise and shows you exactly who you are. And if you're willing to endure it, solitude transforms you. It teaches you that you don't need the world to hold your hand in order to keep moving forward. You already have everything you need inside you. When you build inner confidence in solitude, you become unstoppable because you've trained yourself not to depend on external motivation. You've learned to push yourself without applause. You've learned to believe in yourself without being constantly reminded. That means no matter what environment you're placed in, you carry your strength with you. Whether people are supporting you or doubting you, whether life feels crowded or empty, your confidence stays intact because it's not tied to the outside. It's tied to who you've become on the inside. This is why the path you walk without support is the one that proves your power. Because it's easy to feel strong when everyone is with you, but it's only in solitude that you truly discover your own strength. It's only in solitude that you build a confidence that cannot be shaken, a confidence that carries you through storms, setbacks, and silence. And once you've built that, no one can take it away from you.